Hello, beautiful butterflies, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, I'm Nina, and today, as you can see, we're going to be doing a live interview with the lovely Lisa, and we're going to be finding out about her gray hair journey. And what I love about this interview that we're going to do is that with Lisa, she is not at the end of her gray hair journey. She's still somewhat in the middle. And so for those of you who are transitioning to gray and you need some encouragement, I hope that you enjoy this interview. So first of all, I want to make sure that there isn't an echo. So I'm just going to wait now real quick. But first of all, Lisa, you can introduce yourself to us and let us know, as much as you want to let us know besides your name.
Okay, so my name is Lisa, and I am pretty new to being natural. I mean, being gray haired. I've been natural for a minute.
Okay.
For about 9 months.
Okay.
Been growing my hair out. That was the last time I got my last color.
Okay. And for natural, how long has it been since you've been natural?
Since 2013. I actually transitioned for like a year, so 2012 to 2013, and then I cut off the rest of the relaxing.
Okay, my sister's on here. Thank you guys for letting me know there's no echo so I can breathe. So I was so excited that Lisa was open. She is a little bit shy, so guys, give her a little clap, give her a little love for having the courage to come on here and share her story with you. And like I said, I want this to be an encouragement for those of you. You may see me who's already at the end of my transition or others, but I want those of you who are in the middle or just starting to, relate to this and know that you're not alone. So first of all, Lisa, what made you decide, I think I want to go gray?
um, it's funny, I had thought about it off and on for a little bit. I have a girlfriend who her hair is completely gray, and it's so beautiful. But kind of like everybody else, I would say, oh, it looks good on her, but it's not going to look better on me. But then when the pandemic hit and I couldn't get to the person who colors my hair, I was like, yeah, maybe this would be a good time to think about going gray. So in my head, the pandemic was only going to last a couple months, but I said, if it goes too long, I'm not coming back.
So that's good. So what were some of the fears that you had? Like, besides the pandemic, what age would you say you were when the first grays started to come in?
I know you asked this question.
You don't have to remember the exact age, but you could round it up or.
I was probably in my 20s. I had hair like my dad, and he very really. So I was probably, and I was one of those people who I would like take the tweezers and pull it out, and they just would taunt me, and I would just let it go out. And then I went to coloring it, and never looked back.
Right. And what colors did you use?
My natural hair color is black, so I've been black, I've been brown, I've been redhead for the last maybe 5 years.
Okay. Oh, I love red, by the way. And, it's so funny because I was just talking about how, just because you go gray doesn't mean you don't like those colors. It's just, did you find when you colored your hair that it gave good coverage, the gray, when you did color?
It did. The person who did, earlier along I did it myself, but the last so many years, my friend who's a hairstylist, she would do it, and it would give really good coverage. Although I was going like every 5 weeks, so my grays were determined they were going to come through. But when she would color, it would color to the point that people would say, "That's a perfect color for you. Are you naturally a redhead?" And
Wow.
I'm like, but she just did a really good job.
Right. Now, when you said to yourself, okay, with this pandemic, I'm not going to be going out, I think this might be the time to do it. How did you feel when those first couple of grays started to come in? Like when they were really now start to be out there?
Initially I was hesitant, and I don't remember if it was one of your videos or JJMUA, but it was a video and it talked about showing like just a little to kind of ease your way into it. So I bought this lock sock and I bought some kind of other turban and that's what I did. Like I wore a turban for a minute and then I wore something that you could just see like the little outline that was coming in to get into it. And then, but I was still working from home at the time. So even that was okay because everything was on Zoom that I was doing. So it wasn't until I went back to work that I really kind of panicked. But yeah, I just had to go through it.
You just dealt with it, right? Was there anything that you told yourself that kind of, so when you did go back to work, how many months into your transition were you?
So about 3 or 4.
Okay. So that's still a little bit of a scary or like awkward stage with just a couple of inches of growth. So I'm not sure if it was you or someone else who sent me how nervous they were when they went back to work, and it was you. Look at that. I did a whole video, guys, based on Lisa because I remember her saying that she was going back to work and she was so nervous. So you went back to work about 3 to 4 months into your transition, and what did you do to how'd you style your hair for that first day of work?
I feel like I wore it kind of a little more forward so you can just kind of see the outline. But after a while I started wearing it back because especially with the pandemic I was trying to kind of protect my hair as well.
Right.
And so I would wear it like pulled back in a ponytail or a puff or something. And I think it was the video that you did. I was just like, you know what? He's right. I'm just going to. They're just going to have to accept it. This is coming out of my head. It's going to be okay.
Right.
So I had like headbands that I would wear that would kind of cover a little bit of the front. But after a while, I just was like, it was starting to grow past the headband. It's fine.
So then, what was that first day like? Because I remember from you tell the story. How was it?
Surprisingly, nobody really seemed to care. And so it was kind of like I had all this anxiety built up and worry going in. And then I got there and everybody was kind of like, oh, yeah, hey. And actually, I don't think even to this day, no one at work has ever said to me, oh, you're letting your hair go gray.
Right.
They don't care.
I love it. And so I remember following up with you, and when you told me that, I said to myself, how we put ourselves through so much, and it's not even half as bad as we imagine it in our mind. And so now you are how many months into your transition?
9 months.
9 months. Let's give Lisa a clap also for making it to 9 months. And do you feel that it's gotten easier as far as like even just being out, or like do you even feel as self-conscious as you did before?
I don't. I actually find that I wear my hair back a lot more. So I was saying to you earlier, like if I wear my hair like this, you just see little patches. But if I pull it back, like I have that.
Yes.
And I wear it back a lot more than I would have expected. Like I'm proud to show that part of my hair. I guess because now I want it all to be gray. So. Yeah.
I love it. So what made you decide to grow it out instead of cut it?
When I went natural, I grew it out. And I think I just wasn't ready. You have certain self-esteem issues and things like that. And although I know I'm not my hair, I still was not ready to make that kind of commitment. So it's kind of like, I remember one of your videos you said, if you don't like it being gray, you can always go back. But if I cut my hair, I can't do anything about that. So I thought, and actually, one of the first videos that I found when I started thinking about going gray was Ava's video, anyway. And I was like, oh, her hair is so pretty. And I finally went and looked back at some of her old videos. And she kind of was growing it out. And I was like, I think I might be able to do this. Even if I let it grow out for a year and cut it off a little bit at a time, maybe I could do that. The other thing is that the person who cuts my hair is the same person who colors my hair. And she works out of her house. So it's kind of like, I can't get to her.
Right. So Ironically, this quarantine helped you in both areas. And I love that. I love that there are so many different, there's Ava who's grew her hair out, and then there's those who get it cut short. And you're right about how when it's short, that's it. Unless you wear wigs or weaves or something like that. But I love that, again, there's different options. That's another thing that I want to tell people, because you always just feel like, there's people I know who grew their hair out and maybe like halfway in, and then all of a sudden they decided they wanted to cut it. So you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to go gray the way that you want to go gray. So I like that you mentioned that. So do you ever have moments, like, what are some of your challenges since the transition?
I do have times when I look at old pictures and I think, oh, I miss my hair color, or I'm having a kind of rough hair day, and I feel like I look old. Right. And I'm not a big makeup person. I think I've become a little bit more now that I've been going gray. But so some days I look and I think, yeah, you just look old. Like, crazy. But I get past it. I think about why I want to do it, and from your channel and Instagram and stuff, I've seen some amazing, beautiful women who are not old.
Right.
And their hair is beautiful. And I had a friend of mine, we were on a Zoom meeting together, and she called me later and she said, I had my hair up some kind of way, and she said, your hair is so beautiful and you look younger with your hair with the gray. And I was like, really? Okay.
And you remember what my sister had mentioned one time? What she did, I think, when she was going natural, is to take comments like that and put it on a sticky, put it around you for those days where you feel old or you're not feeling the whole transition, so that you can remember that there are more good days than the rough ones. And honestly, the rough ones where you feel like you're old, that's normal. I'm not going to sit here and tell you just because you grow gray, you're going to have every day that you're like, yes. I mean, I've had moments from when I first transitioned to now, of course, because I have way more gray hair than I did when I started, where I'm like, whoa. Or like you said, you'll look back at pictures and be like, wow, that is night and day. But I'm looking at your skin and how amazing it is. And your skin color, you have a nice deep rich tone. So those are things that you don't have to wear a lot of makeup. I'm just looking right now with your colors and your earrings, and so these are different options, to be able to help you with your transition, but you don't have to do those things. Do you find there's anything else that's different that you're doing now that you didn't do before you were letting your gray grow out?
I think the main thing is makeup. It's funny, I've been watching people with eyelashes, and I'm like, I deliberately did not wear, I just got a pair of eyelashes. Okay. I tried them on Tuesday, and I liked them, but I decided not to wear them today because I was like, this is how I look most of the time. So,
you're going to come real.
Yeah, but just stuff like that. Maybe try to dress up a little bit more. I was looking at, maybe it was Instagram, you were talking about the tassels. I was like, oh, those are cute. So, little things to make myself still feel,
yes,
I don't know, pretty, or
yeah,
but you know what I mean.
I know exactly.
Colors, stuff like that.
Right. Color. Do you find yourself wearing more colors or bolder colors since you decided to go gray?
I do. I do. Richer colors. Of course, now that it's winter time, all my winter clothes are black, but or gray. But
right.
In the summertime, I wore a lot of rich, bright colors.
Well, plum is definitely your color. It goes really well with your skin tone, and so many have said since they transitioned to gray that they were surprised that they may have stuck to neutral colors. And let me know in the comments if that's the same for you guys. They kind of stuck with blacks, browns, neutral colors, and then they were like, I need a little more something. And then they put the colors and it just pops that much more. So I think that that's awesome that you found some things. It's funny because, I'm a lash and lip girl. And with this little bang here, I was like, are we really going to try and do the lashes right now? So I just came on here without them. And I'm so happy that you said that. Excuse me, because there's moments where we want to go a little bit extra and, pep it up. But there's nothing wrong with feeling comfortable with just the minimum, and know that you still. So I know what you meant when you said you do want to do things to make yourself feel pretty, even though you're pretty, but basically to help you through the awkward stages, of that. And was it you who told me that like you head wraps aren't really like a big thing in your workplace? So that was.
I didn't say that, but they are not.
Okay.
So that was the other thing. I couldn't really count on that too much.
Right.
I can get away with the headband or like what you have on, but I don't know that they would necessarily how they would feel about actual rap.
Right. So I was glad that you had told me that, because then that really got me into the headband, talk. And then also, have you ever thought about using the temporary colors? Because I know you said that originally you were nervous about showing your roots, but now it's like you want it all gray. So have you ever thought about using temporary color on the rest of your strands?
I have not. I think that I kind of want to see how it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, I think even if it's temporary, like it's not going to be the real color necessarily. I want to see what it actually. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that makes complete sense, because even for me, when I have tried them, they're not my true color. Like, if you've seen the video where I tried them, I remember some people saying, no, I miss your white patch. That white patch that I hated, guys. I hated it when I was coloring my hair because it came in strong, and now it's one of my favorite things. So I agree with you that, if you want to appreciate what you're true, because everybody's gray hair pattern is different. Do you feel like it's going to be white or it's going to be mixed? How is it coming in?
I feel like it's going to be mixed. I feel like I'm going to have a halo where the white is concentrated in the front, but the rest of my hair is kind of growing in with my natural color.
Right.
And gray peppered through it.
Right. Now, do you feel like you're having any like weird coloring, or the grombre that we call it, that's like many different colors as it's growing out, or it's mostly two-tone?
So far it seems like it's two-tone.
Okay.
I don't know if because it's kind of like about here. So I don't know if as it grows out more it'll be that way.
Right.
But right now it's cooperating.
Right. And it looks good. I know there was someone else on the last live, I believe Monday, who was growing out and their hair was copper. So I hope that they watch this and they could see, an example of what it's like growing out. Because again, everybody's hair grows in differently. I know my sister, she gets like a couple of salt and pepper strands, a couple of salt strands come out. But not everybody's, gray hair pattern comes in that way. So let me just go in real quick. If you guys have any questions for Lisa while we are on here. Hello, Joyce and Monique, level-headed, Sheila. Stephanie says your hair is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And Jean said the same with me. Denise says hers came in, I think, when she was 26, and she is now 45 with salt and pepper, which is awesome. Hi, Cedar. Oh my goodness, I forgot how to say her name. Lorraine said, great job, Lisa.
That's my sister.
Oh, hi, Lorraine. Nice to meet you. Giving your sister support. That was another question of mine while I'm looking at the comments. Obviously, we heard that from your coworkers. There wasn't really like yay or nay. It was pretty neutral. And I love the great compliment that you got. But did you find anybody who did come up to you and say anything negative? Did you get any negative comments about your hair?
I have not. Most people either they compliment it or they kind of look and they just don't say anything, which is fine too.
Right.
They don't say anything, so they'll look and then okay. And
right.
keep going.
Right.
So, but nobody has come up to me and said said, what are you doing?
Right, right. Well, that's good. And it's funny you just said that, because I know those are things we can feel insecure about too, because it's like, ooh, you could see them looking at you. You could see they want to say something, but they're being polite and not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, this is me. This is what I'm doing, or I don't know if this has happened to you. If I haven't seen someone in a long time, like maybe 5 years, and I mean, I've just only been 3 years into this, they'll be like, what happened? Like just kind of shocked, like, okay, but wow, you really went gray. Or do you get comments like, oh, you must be stressed, or like those kind of things where it's like, no, this is like, I just got a comment. Someone said, you're too young to have all that gray hair. And I'm like, believe it or not, there's a lot of young people with gray hair.
I haven't had any. I actually think I had more negative comments when I went natural than when I went gray.
Okay.
And maybe going through all of that with them then has made them not say anything to me.
Do you think going through the negative comments with the natural also added to your nervousness to go gray?
I think in some ways, not sure how people were going to respond. And I was really surprised at how many people felt comfortable enough to give their opinion about my hair when I went natural.
Yeah.
Because I would never look at somebody, even if somebody who I was really close to, and said some of the things that were said. But yeah. But as far as now, some people haven't seen me, so some of those people, maybe if they see me now,
right,
they may feel the need to say, "Oh, are you going through something?" So far, it's been okay.
Now, do you think even if that were to happen, that you're at a much better place than if it was the beginning?
I do. It's funny, when I went natural, I was kind of on the fence, and again, different insecurity issues. And then somebody made a comment about my hair, and it made me feel really bad. Like, she was like, "Oh, you must not be planning on getting married." And she just really came hard. And I remember I went and I bought a wig because we were going somewhere. And I felt so self-conscious in this wig that was my turning point. That I don't care what you think.
Right.
This is going out of my hair.
Right.
If I can accept somebody with their whatever, then they can accept what's coming out of my head.
Love that.
And so that helped me a lot going forward with my natural hair. Like, so even with the gray, even though I was nervous, I tried to hold on to that thought. I mean, it's not like I'm doing something wrong.
Right.
It's not up for debate.
Love it. Love that one. Not up for debate. Like, this is, I've had other people put that in the comments too. Like, who are other people to try and say something about what's on your head in your life? But, something that is a real reality, not everyone is going to love our gray hair. There are going to be some people who are going to have the guts to talk out their neck and say something negative. We're fortunate to not have that many experiences with that, but that is true. And one of the surprising things about this journey is how you can inspire other people. Gray, natural was different than what everybody was doing, but gray has this stigma because it's like old and unattractive, and which is mind-boggling to me sometimes. Yet I know I was a part of that who thought that way. Because when you think of your grandparents or people who you love who are older, your own parents even, you don't lose that love for them because they, get older, or feel that they're not attractive. But to think of us being in that situation, we automatically think that, So what I love, that is another beautiful thing besides having self-acceptance from going gray, is having a more accepting view of aging. Because that is what's happening, and there are also other things that we can do to still age gracefully, still look youthful. And do you find that you're doing a little bit more of that since you've gone gray, like take better care of yourself so that...
Yes, definitely trying to improve in like my skincare, things like that. And it's funny what you were saying, because I used to always say, I can't go gray before my mom does.
Wow.
And my mom would color her hair. So I was like, I would say, when I started thinking about it, I was like, yep, mom is coloring her hair, I'm coloring mine. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually made the decision to just go gray
Mm-hmm.
despite that.
Right.
And I got her last hair color, I would color her hair.
Mm-hmm.
So her last color was maybe a little before mine. And to my surprise, she has decided not to color her hair. She was like, I've never seen my hair
Uh-huh.
gray.
Uh-huh.
I'm curious to see what it looks like, and so
Right.
she's been sticking with it.
Oh, so now you got a partner in
Dude,
your
I know.
journey. And how has she been? So she's what, like 8 months or 7?
She's probably about 9
Oh, she's
herself.
9 too. Okay, so you guys are pretty much, and this is why community is so awesome, because like there's one of the things I love about YouTube and doing this and getting to know all of you. Even though I'm done with my transition, I feel like I lived through your journeys and I get excited to hear things like that you're able to inspire your family members, and you're probably inspiring people who you don't see, who you don't know, who's just like, "Oh, I saw this woman in the store," and like I can't tell you how many women now I see in the store, and sometimes I have to stop myself because I'm like, you don't know if they're intentionally doing that or not. But it's exciting to see other women just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm it's okay. It's another option. If you
Yeah.
do want to color it and that works with your schedule, fine, But hold on one second. Let me just go here real quick. Des said, I wonder if Nina knows how many people she's helping and encouraging with her videos. Thank you, Des. My sister said, we tend to care a whole lot more than others will. Isn't that true? That is so true. And my sister talked about the index cards, helped her through her big chop because she cut her hair. Tamala, I need some colors so I can pop. Yeah, colors can definitely help. Hi, Diane. Okay, Lorraine, I'm not sure if this question is for me or you. Have you had any friends or family that have decided to embrace their gray hair because of your journey? I'm not sure if she meant that, because I know for you, you already.
I was thinking about my mom.
Okay, okay. For me, I didn't. I didn't. There's a cousin of mine who is growing out her gray hair, and it looks awesome. And she's also younger. And my aunt has embraced her gray, and she actually was the one who I remember talking to when I was thinking about it, because we were just saying like, why do we feel this fear to do it? We were like going underneath, because I think that's something that is so easy to think about a color, or which is why when you decide to embrace your gray, you're like, where's all this stuff coming from? Like, it's just a hair color. Why do I feel all this stuff? But it does bring up, like you said, insecurities, so that that you're not alone with those insecurities. And similar to you, when I went gray and I did the big chop, the first couple of weeks I was pretty much for the reveal, I was very insecure. Then after that, I forgot. And so when people would come up, I'd be like, oh yeah, no more dye for me. Like, I'm done, And so, do you find, well, actually, before I ask that, what benefits for you personally in just 9 months have you seen from transitioning?
I'm sure my wallet is very happy because I was going very often to get it done.
Uh-huh.
And I enjoyed getting it done because it was a friend of mine. So that was kind of our together time. But
Mm-hmm.
now we can get to, once COVID is over, I guess we can
Right.
get together and hang out and it not be about her working so hard to color my hair.
Right.
But yeah, I really don't miss that at all. I miss our hanging out together, but going every 5 weeks, and I used to take my foundation because I had too much gray to pluck it out. So I would take my foundation and kind of do around the edges to make it blend in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to just not worry about all of that.
Right. Right. You feel free.
I do. It's funny. That's the whole reason I went natural, and it was like, but
Right.
I still was kind of holding on to the color. So now, as it's coming in, it's like now I can really be
Right.
free. You have to worry about it.
You said it so well, because I feel like There's levels to things, and it's okay if you can't do it all at once, because I know there's some of you who are watching this who are also transitioning not just to gray but also to natural at the same time, which is two biggies. You're dealing with, whoa, I'm not coloring my hair, and whoa, this is a different texture. My hair doesn't do what it did when it was relaxed. And my mom went gray first, and then she went natural. And so it's okay to do things in doses. I feel like the natural hair journey gave me some strength for the gray hair journey. And I feel like also getting older, as you get older, you get a certain kind of confidence. But listen, the priceless gift is feeling comfortable in your own skin. Like you said, this is me. I'm not covering it. I feel comfortable with where I'm at. It's an attractive thing. And I've had interviews with two other Silver sisters who they were dating when they went gray. So one woman, Tracy, she said her husband was like, I want to date you because you're going gray. Like there was something about her that just, he was attracted to that authenticity. And then there was Martha, who was already dating. So she could have felt like, oh no, how's he going to feel about this? But she's like, I'm not going to dye my hair anymore. And on her wedding day, she wore her grays, So for those of you who, are single and going gray, I think we mentioned this on another conversation, that the one that you choose anyway, you want to be comfortable with who you are. So I just think that that's so awesome that you feel that freeness, and going gray gives you that feeling.
Yes. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me get back here real quick. Pamela says hello. Des, when I big chopped in 2012, some coworkers told me they didn't like it. I loved my hair too much to care. This time I'll be chopped in gray. Still love it too much to care for negative comments. Love that. Too much to care. Hello, Charlene. Marilyn, people are crazy. A coworker said to me, I can't do something like that. And that's hard too, And I remember some comebacks that some people say like, no, I think it would be different. I think if they said, if I were you, I wouldn't go gray. And the person would come back and be like, well, that's why you're not me. Like, just something catchy to like put people right back in their place. But Lisa Eleanor says she just shaved her hair 2 days ago and wisdom came right on through. I love it. Marilyn, I said the courage to accept the real me is not for everyone. Yes, that is a great comeback.
It is.
Des like that too. And Diane, I love the times when I used to go to the hairdresser and go to the styling chair with my lovely salt and pepper and see older ladies coloring their hair and staring at her hair. That is something. She said, I used to love to see the confused look on their faces. That is so true. She said, by the way, they were confused because they knew I was too young to have so many grays according to the norms in their head. It's true because, and I don't know if your mom talked to you about what was some of her fears about not dyeing her hair anymore. Do you feel like she's...
No, I don't know if she had fears. I think kind of like everybody else, you associate it with being older and not being ready to accept that. And it's funny, I've never been a person to hide my age. People, sometimes people are funny about
yes.
stuff like that. I've never cared about that. My brother passed a year ago and he wasn't 50. And so, I think to myself, I'm very fortunate to be able to be the age that I am. And so, thinking of it that way is kind of like every day is a gift.
Yes.
And why be ashamed of getting older when sadly everybody doesn't get to get older?
Oh, this is the second interview where we've come full circle to how the gray hair journey can give you a more grateful outlook that you've lived. to look at your hair in a different way. And some might feel like, really, it's not that serious, but it is. You know, if you've gotten old enough to get gray hair, that shows that you've lived life. And there are many, like you said, who haven't even been my grandmother, my mom's mom, was also very young when she passed away. And so, you know, I appreciate that now there's more exposure to being, you know, and showing that gray can be beautiful, and that it's another hair color. Yes. You know, like, we don't think, oh, my hair is black, I feel ashamed, my hair is red, my hair is blonde. You know, it's gray. That's another color, and it happens to everybody. Mm-hmm. We color it, but it happens to everybody. I think there might be the one little ratio that doesn't gray at all, but most of us do. Marilyn says, oh yes, when a hairstylist told her that she has plenty time to grow her gray, she said, well, you can be addicted to the color crack if you want. She went natural first and her sisters followed suit. Thank you so much for sharing that, Marilyn. I think that is actually a humbling part of it, because, you know, you're just being who you are. And I will tell you, because I remember when you were feeling nervous about doing this, you realized, or you had someone tell you don't know who you're going to help. And it's very true. Just being who you are allows someone else to be comfortable with how they are. And so I'm pretty sure that others who watch this interview are going to say, I'm like her, you know, my hair is that color, or I'm around the same age, I think I'm going to do it, you know. And by the time we come out of this pandemic and quarantine, everybody's going to be looking all kinds of different in many different ways. So at the end of the day, you know, I don't know if you've had this happen to you also, because I like to talk about that as well. When people look at your hair and say, well, if my gray hair came in like yours, have you had people say that to you?
I have. I actually just had a friend say that to me. Like, you know, if my hair looked like yours, you know, she said, I wish I had stuck with it. But if mine looked as pretty as yours does. But I mean, the thing is, you don't know. I was just looking at a picture. I had gone on vacation last summer, 2019. And so I had my hair up, and this part was gray, and then the rest was red. And I was looking at the picture, and I was thinking how unattractive I felt it looked at that time. And I couldn't wait to get my hair colored. Right. But, you know, you did a video, and it was like, you don't know until you try. I can't remember the interview. But it was like, so I was like, well, that's true. I won't know if I like it. I've always rushed to color it or cut it out or whatever. But, and now coming in, it's like, I love it. So kind of the same way. I went through that period when I went natural, like, oh, you know, I don't know. And then I got to a point where it's like, I can't see myself going back to getting a relaxer. And that's how, now I may change my mind as it grows in more, but right now, that's how I feel. I love it.
I'm so happy to hear that. And did you have some times within the 9 months where you were like, oh no, I'm gonna have to get a box dye or something, like, I can't do this?
I did, and actually my hair colorist is very, well, I guess because she colors hair, but she's all about healthy hair, so she's like, your hair is healthy, just keep up with that. Right. She was very supportive as well. And so, yeah, I was like, I know I'm not going to color it myself. I have a friend, and her hair is red, and it's beautiful, and I look at it, but I'm just like, yeah, you're just going to have to let it go, Lisa. Well, you said you tried a wig one time and it wasn't for you. Do you think you would do it again? No? I might. You know, I think it might have been the wig. I was looking for a certain kind, and I could only get this kind, and I just hated it. So I think about it, and I might down the line.
Because I got one in the mail, and the color was spot on, and it was a cute style, but it still needed something more, so I'm returning it. But first of all, I have a big head. So, like, trying to find something that could, like, fit my head properly and not look like it's, you know, lifted up. But it was like your color, you know, because I love red. And just recently I was telling myself, I I miss coloring my hair. I do miss that. I wouldn't color my hair now. I don't want to go through the grow out process again. And when I colored my hair, it didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it once the grays would come in, as opposed to coloring my natural color hair, which was darker. So having wigs or different things like that could give me that feeling, because also being natural, I would love to straighten my hair, but straightening my hair is almost like a, have you straightened your hair since you've been natural? No.
Since I've been natural, yes. But
Okay.
It's been maybe about 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
My hair is one of the kind, we have a love-hate relationship. So as long as it's natural and I let it do what it does, it's me and it are okay.
Okay.
But if it's going to be straight, if it's going to be colored, then it needs me to let.
Uh-oh. We have a little Wi-Fi issues. We're going to wait for her to come back. Diane. Okay, go ahead. You cut off a little bit.
Oh, I was saying that my hair and I have a love-hate relationship.
Right.
So if I do something to it, it's like, oh, you forgot, I don't like it. Where's the girl who is the color? We'll cut it.
So question now, do you find any difference with your gray hair as it's growing in, as opposed to when you were coloring it? Like, do you find any issues with taking care of it that's different?
I had a shampoo day a few weeks ago, and whatever I use, it's almost like it got stuck in hair. And I guess this hair is more coarse than the rest of it, and I wasn't expecting that. So I realized that I have to be more thorough with my gray hair.
Got it.
And really focus on that a little bit more.
Right. So are you, what's your primary style that you like to do with your hair?
Usually twist outs. But I'm very bad in the wintertime. I always end up having to get my hair cut because I guess it's out and it rubs against stuff. So generally it's in some kind of updo now.
Okay.
In the winter.
Okay. That's a good, well,
so
this.
Like in a puff or in flat twist back something.
It's funny because that's something that I'm trying to incorporate this winter. Tucking my ends away, because I'm a wash and go girl, and I do love the ease of it, because twist outs don't come out the same as my wash and go does. But I was just thinking about, protective styles and things like that. Not everybody does well with protective styles like braids. I'm not a fan of braids on my hair, but so I was just wondering how and if you're doing anything like that, with your hair. Protective styling, I guess.
Mainly just up.
Which is like.
No, I find that I don't know if it's being flaky out, but I convince my
dealing with your hair can be a lot, and it's like I don't want to have to deal with 11 steps. So how would you describe your wash day? What do you do?
I usually pre-poo. The Colors has a hair oil line that I've used since I was getting it colored, and it's kept my hair pretty strong, I guess, with the color. So I pre-poo, wash it, deep condition, and then I'll put it in maybe 5 big twists.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of time, a lot of patience. So.
Good. No, again, I'm happy to show different routines and people doing different things, for their hair. Do you find you deep condition all the time, or do you do like the quick conditions or the longer ones?
I deep condition pretty much every week.
Okay.
So there are weeks that I feel like let me just do a quick rinse out, but if my hairdresser hears this, she'll kill me. But generally, I do try to deep condition, usually about 30 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, I try to deep condition, sit under a steamer or something. And I guess especially with winter coming.
Right. And you just helped me to remember another question. Do you find that the porosity has changed with your gray hair compared to your colored hair?
You know, I haven't tested that yet, and I kind of am curious about that.
Mm-hmm.
I have low porosity hair,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so it takes a long time for my hair to get wet. And I
Mm.
feel like my hair, because it feels kind of coarse and drier,
Mm-hmm.
it blends right in with that.
Got it. So it didn't really. It's interesting because sometimes when people get their hair colored, it does change the porosity a little bit, but you still find, even though it's colored, it still is a lower porosity.
Yeah,
Okay.
it takes forever for it to dry.
Okay. So again, I love that you mentioned how different, even just you and I, my hair is definitely high porosity. It gets soaked very easy. I mean, not very easy, but it can get wet a lot easier. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? Something about deep conditioning, pre-poo. I definitely would love for you to put in the comments after this is finished that pre-poo that you were talking about. For those who have hair similar to you. Let me see here. Diane said, every day is a gift. I told my girls just that this morning. Very true, Diane. It's a simple yet profound, thing to remember, that every day is a gift. Denise never felt comfortable with a wig. She feels like she has a hat on. I hear you, Denise, because I put the wig on and I liked it and it had a bang. Because the thing is, if I wear a wig that's not the same color as my hair, I definitely want a bang so that it's a full cap and I don't have to worry about blending. But it was just, I was hot because of the bang. So I get you, Denise. But yet at the same time, like, this is a ponytail. So I like that. That keeps all over here, nice and free. Marilyn says she's glad she's not the only one. Yes. Just remember, if you remember anything, guys, there's options for so many things. You do not have to peg yourself into, a certain area and feel like, that's your only option. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. What was your favorite part of this interview? What was it that Lisa said that helped you? Please let her know if she's inspired you. That will be very encouraging to her. And I want you to know, Lisa, that even though you're still in the middle of your transition, I'm encouraged because I think because you took me along on the journey too. I think the most amazing part was when you were nervous about work and then you got back to me and told me it went well. I was like, yes, because it doesn't always happen that way. And I was like, oh goodness, I can't be telling this girl that for sure it's going to be fine. And then somebody come and give a negative comment and she'd be like, no, I'm not doing this. So it proved true that a lot of times it's worse in our mind than it is in reality. And I really think that I also love what you had said about how, after a while you just were like, okay, I'm done with trying to, like you gave me that title to my video, No More Hiding. I think you had said that. You were like, no more hiding. And I was like, that is just such a beautiful thing to be able to show people who you really are. I heard somebody say today, people are not going to like you. Some people are going to like you. That's no matter what we do. So if that is a fact, then why not come as completely as you are, so that if they like you, know that they like that real you as opposed to the you think.
That's so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then why let somebody else get, I mean, if they're not going to like you, they're not going to like you no matter what. So you might as well live your life and be happy.
Right. And I think too, she also mentioned that when you do present who you really are, then you will attract those who you do better with. Because sometimes when you try and hide certain things about yourself or be what you really aren't, and you attract different ones who like that, they may not even be the ones who you really, gel with or who are good for you. So authenticity, Lisa's wallet is happy. Lisa feels, just in general, it feels like having a minimalist, kind of that definitely fits into that. So I hope you guys, if you have any questions, I'll give you a couple of minutes here to ask that, but I just really want to thank you, Lisa, for coming on here. How do you feel after you did it? Was it as bad as you thought?
It was good. And if your sister still want to tell her thank you, because I saw one of her videos with the plum and the yellow, and I was like, I like that. I'm gonna.
Yes, and I love my sister. Oh my goodness, she's an inspiration to me in so many ways. But it's amazing what color combinations can do. You would never maybe think of plum and yellow together, but she also is somebody who, because she was not afraid to be who she was and tell her story, she was the one who pushed me to do this. And then I got a chance to meet all of you guys. So we both thank you, LA, for giving us that inspiration. Let's see. Someone said, super skin in hair. Thank you, Lisa, for being honest with us about your transitioning journey. It's very encouraging to those who may be on the fence about accepting their gray hair. Yay! And I think another thing to really take away from this interview, guys, is a lot of times remember that courage is not the absence of fear. It is being afraid and doing it anyway. And Lisa did that twice. She did that with her gray hair journey. She did that with this interview. So remember that a lot of times it is way scarier in our mind than it is in actuality. And you're going to be okay. You're going to find your tribe and people who resonate with you. And let's see what Des said. I love being able to walk into a barbershop, pay $30 as opposed to $100, and be on my way. No color, no relaxer. I wash my hair at home, in and out. Yes. So stay true to yourselves, guys. Accept who and how you are, how your gray hair pattern is coming in. Even if it's not like Lisa's or mine, it is uniquely yours. And yeah, thank you so much, Lisa, for this. I really enjoyed it. And I will see you guys on the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.